hurricane, earthquake, or tsunami. Fire and flood threaten your safety. Danger approaching, pay attention to the warnings and advisories. Your essential items back and ready, so you won't be scrambling in an emergency. Prepare and be aware.
This message is brought to you by the Department of Emergency Management.
Hi, I'm Simon Alleyne, Program Officer at the Department of Emergency Management, and this is another episode of Real Talk in the Face of Danger. Once again, we at DEM, we're focusing on the importance of volunteerism and, of course, the DEOs in helping us to carry out our mandate of comprehensive disaster management. And on this episode today, I am pleased to have the presence of two DEO members who have been so active in their communities as well as in their DEOs. I want to welcome at this point Claudette and Corey.
Thank you.
So good to have you all guys here. And of course, you're no strangers to the Department of Emergency Management, because over the years you would have been here when there would have been training and other activities geared towards the DEOs. So for me, I think a good starting point, Claudette, would be to ask you, what got you interested in the DEO?
Well, I got interested when the DEO of the St. Joseph branch came to my church at the point in time to speak about what they do and to invite members. So that's why I decided that I would go and see what it was all about.
Excellent. And for you, Corey, what was your experience?
For me, I was always in doing communications, so you always saw the DEO around. I had some family members that was in the DEO at the time as well, so that got me interested in getting to pass what little talent I had, so that we could help the community in whatever impact it would be.
Excellent. I think that volunteers usually have a special heart for their community or for a particular cause. And I think we need to inspire more people in the Barbadian society to, champion a cause. And I think that disaster preparedness is something that impacts all of us, whether you're young or old, whether you live in a gated community or that's in what you will call an urban area. When disaster strikes, it doesn't pick and choose persons. What would you say to persons who are thinking about joining a DEO, Corey? What would you say to them? How would you encourage them to join the DEO?
First of all, I would tell them not to hesitate, because something can happen at any time. Look at the freak storm that happened a couple of years ago. Remember, we had the earthquake impact in 2007.
That's right.
Beryl shortly here this year. And if you look abroad, you see the impact that happens to other persons in other countries.
True.
And it's best to get involved. So once you get involved early, it helps you where you can be trained. And wherever field you want to be trained in. Like most of us are cross-trained, so we cross-train in so many different fields. Some of us do damage assessment, some first aid, like literally we do tarpaulin training, communications.
Wow, that's a lot of things, man, Corey.
Yes. So yeah, we try to cross-train as much as possible so we can help if there's a need at any time.
And for you, Claudette, how would you try to encourage people to join your DEO? You said for your experience, people visited your church. How do you think your DEO can get out there and encourage people to join?
Well, I think we need to get out more in the community, not only just in the church, but go into the communities and speak to the people, especially younger members, because we need the younger members. And we also need people with transportation, because transportation is a very integral part of the DEO when a disaster happens.
Correct. And I want to get back to you, Corey. You mentioned about all the cross-training that DEOs do, and I wanted to focus on communications. And why is communication so important, for DEOs, pre-impact and post-impact? Why do you need to have your alternative radio communications?
Well, first of all, there's an old saying, when everything else fails, radio works.
All right.
So, if you look earlier back in the aspect with the Beryl, if you look at St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they had no communications. So people knew nothing what was going on. So it's always best to make sure you have that equipment, whether you're using it simplex or duplex, that you can communicate with your peers back to your NEOC, letting them know the vital information that is important so we can have a smooth operation.
That's right. And for you, Claudette, how important was communications in your St. Joseph DEO? I think you spoke about the freak storm that would have happened a while in the past, and also Beryl. How did your DEO manage?
Well, communication is very important in the rural area of St. Joseph because we have a lot of difficult terrain and so forth. And normally, when anything happens, the first thing that goes is the power.
That's right. So electricity,
therefore,
your
your
internet.
electricity is gone, internet is gone, everything. So communications is very important. It's very important to be able to have another avenue to communicate.
So have you been doing any training with the DEOs with regards to radio training?
Yes, I have.
Okay, wonderful. And you mentioned a lot of the training activities that happen. I know that our consultant, Mr. Selwyn Brooks, who has a responsibility for working with the DEOs, has been outlining a number of training initiatives. He had spoke to me about the radio net. He spoke to me about the training in first aid, chainsaw operation, and so on. Why is training so important? Is it not only to equip the DEOs, but also to keep the members interested in the DEOs? What do you like most about training, Corey? Does it excite you when you're doing new training?
Yes, of course. In most cases, we always say a trained DEO is an asset. Because if you come to a situation, you may know of it, but the correct procedures you may not know. So the more you train, it makes you better at what you do.
Right. As they say, practice makes perfect, right?
Yes.
Or perfect practice makes perfect. And for you, Claudette, how do you find the training? Because I know that you said that your DEO might be in the rural areas a little smaller, but you guys are active with the training. What does training do for you after you do a training session here at DEM or at another location?
Well, after training, I'm very excited because generally we'll go back and share some information with the others.
Yes.
But I am always excited at training because even if I don't know how to do the specific activity like chainsaw, because a chainsaw is really heavy for me, and I did the chainsaw training, but I'm not very good at it. But if there is need to assist or to explain to someone else who does not know, I'll be able to do that.
Right, and I think that's the beautiful thing about DEOs. The beautiful thing is that you have a mixture of the practical and the theory, because there are some persons who can do more administrative things, while the younger or the stronger people can do the more practical things. It's really a pleasure having you guys here. So across the world, the United Nations has declared December 5th as the International Day for Volunteers. And on December 7th, right here in Barbados, the DEOs have a major event that will not only showcase their skills, but also provide an opportunity for members of the public to join the DEO. And it is so important that the DEOs have that chance to display to the public the skills that they have learned, and also make a call for persons to join the DEOs. And for you, Corey, are you looking forward to December 7th?
Of course. It's something exciting, especially when you get to meet the public and show them what the DEOs are really about and how they can learn, join, and have an impact on their community.
That is so important. And that word impact is very important when we think about when tragedy sadly strikes, or when a situation or a catastrophic event occurs. We need to have those persons within the DEOs that are trained, that can assist. And for you, coming all the way from St. Joseph, I am sure you're looking forward to December 7th when you're at the Lester Vaughan School, and your DEO and the members across the various zones will be getting together, Claudette. What are you expecting to see and to be a part of on December 7th?
Well, I'm very excited for December the 7th because I'll be able to showcase some of the training that I have done, especially in communications.
All right.
But I would invite everyone in Barbados to come out to this activity, especially younger persons, because it will help them to understand what the members of the DEO are capable of doing,
That's right.
are trained to do, and understand like after an event, you're not just supposed to go out before the all clear is given, because a lot of people do that, and it will help them to understand a lot about what volunteering is about and what the DEO is about.
Excellent. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. On this episode of Real Talk in the Face of Danger, we look at the hearts of our volunteers and the importance of DEOs in the community. It was a pleasure having both Claudette and Corey, some strong and well-trained DEO members who are out there making a difference in their community. You can make a difference. Make sure that you find out your nearest DEO contact or chairperson so that you can join your DEO and be of service to Barbados. Until next time, I'm Simon Alleyne.